there, ref. That's he got the ball. Good evening, Tottenham fans right across the world, and hopefully you are all enjoying your Friday night. And I do apologise about the lateness of this video. I was up the Wicklow Mountains with my dad this morning, taking in some fresh air, getting a good hike in. Got down around 2 o'clock and my phone was absolutely off the scale. All hell broke loose because Tottenham have officially announced the signing of winger Wilson Odobert from Burnley for a fee of £25 million plus £5 million in add-ons. The 19-year-old has signed a 5-year deal that will run until 2029, and he will wear the number 28 shirt. Now, Tottenham's acquisition of Wilson Odobert from Burnley went completely under the radar, which is a surprise in the modern-day era of the transfer market, where most transfers are usually leaked and speculated upon days or even weeks before they are officially announced. Now, I do recall a few weeks ago that the club were frustrated with all the leaks and decided to take a more deliberate approach to keep their dealings confidential. So it is great to see them successfully executing that strategy. And Johan Lange does like to work in secret, so maybe what we are seeing this window is the transfer in power from Paratici to Johan Lange. Of course, Paratici was spinning about 10 plates at once, having everyone's focus over here while we're over here operating on a deal. Whereas Johan Lange just won't put any links out and keeps his business private. So that's why I think this one has come as a surprise to everybody at Tottenham Hotspur. Odobert is a France under-21 international who made 29 Premier League appearances for Burnley last season, contributing 3 goals and 3 assists. Odobert is a direct, fast and confident in one-on-one situations, always looking to take on his man and can use both feet as well. And 2 of his 3 goals last season did come from outside the box, so he is not afraid to have a shot. And this is something I have said that Tottenham needed this summer in whatever winger they were going to sign, because last year we were absolutely crying out for a winger who could dribble, beat a man, and we as we struggled to break down teams who packed out their defence and played low blocks against us. So Odobert does give us that, at least. Also, one would hope those attributes, combined with the Premier League experience he has from last season at Burnley, will help him settle into life at Tottenham and help him be able to compete for a spot in the team. But he does have a huge task ahead of him, jostling for minutes alongside the likes of Son, Dejan Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson, who I hope eventually he can oust, Timo Werner, and also Mikey Moore. So bringing in Odobert does add more depth and cover right across the forward line. Also, a new right winger was a priority in this transfer window due to the underwhelming performances of Johnson and Kulusevski last season. Then the need was further greatened by Johnson's ongoing struggles this pre-season. And now, on to maybe my final thoughts surrounding this deal. Now, I don't want to sit here and be negative for the sake of it, because when I look at Odobert, there is no doubt that he can play, and he does have all the attributes to become a very good player. I've seen a lot of Burnley fans call him the French Pele, and also some Tottenham fans already linking him to David Ginola because of the French connection. However, I have constantly held the view for well over a year now that we do need to bring in high quality established players into that forward line. One of the main reasons we struggled in the final third last season was because we had average players who weren't of that quality to help us get into top 4. And I'm also concerned that there was more quality available on the market this summer in that position that we could have pursued that would have addressed the problem. The likes of Elise, who went to Bayern Munich, Chiesa, Eze, who I believe can't play there, also Kingsley Coman. Bringing in one of these would have absolutely immediately solved the problem and instantly displaced Brennan Johnson from that starting lineup. Whereas with signing Odobert, I do think it's more of a hope that he can come in here, produce a bit of quality and displace Brennan Johnson rather than a guarantee. I want to make this absolutely clear. I have no problem with Odobert being one of our winger signings if we already had an established option at right wing, and if right wing wasn't such a huge, glaringly obvious issue. Plus, also, if we did not have a young prodigy like Mikey Moore already fighting for that position, already in place. Then I also ask myself, Ange said on multiple occasions that he wants to be able to compete for trophies. He said it all last season and has reiterated that message again over the course of pre-season. Signing Odobert, even if he does come good and does come in and do well, he is not a signing that is going to deliver on the ambition of the manager or the fans. And I just fear that we'll be looking back on this next summer, regardless if we fall further down the table or finish second or third in the table. Ultimately, I just feel like this signing will leave us short of our goals. And to be brutally honest, I don't think it's showing ambition either. Also, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love some of the young signings and acquisitions that we have made to this squad. And I do think this is something that Tottenham have always done well, especially over my lifetime. Identify young players that go on to become superstars. And also, I have no issue if they're coming into the squad and they're in there playing on merit. My problem with this signing is that we all knew the positions we needed to sign in this summer to improve the first 11 and kick on for a title challenge, which was the ultimate goal. And we only needed 3 or 4. And so far, I think the club have made an absolute mess of it. And I think we're getting to the point now that we're so desperate for signings. Almost any signing that we bring in now, we'll find a way to justify it. And I think what's got lost is the manager's ambition, which he has said all along, which is winning trophies. And that's what we should be measuring the signings off. Are they going to come in and help deliver that? With Odobert, again, I think this is another huge gamble. And lastly, let me be clear on this as well. I do not blame Ange Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou would have had a meeting with them last season. He would have told them the positions that he was looking at, the attributes that he was looking at, and maybe suggested 1 or 2 names that he would like in that position. After that, they would go to the scouting department, put it through the data analysis, and pull up other players. Not every signing that comes into this team is Ange Postecoglou signing. Where Ange Postecoglou does get involved is he will ring them if it's close to happening to make sure that they are coming to Tottenham Hotspur with the right intentions. But not every signing is for Ange Postecoglou. With the way this scouting network is supposed to operate is, Tottenham will have a philosophy of how they want their football to be played. And then they'll sign players based on that. So even if Ange Postecoglou doesn't make it at Tottenham Hotspur, the next guy off the rank will ideally play the same way and have players ready to hit the ground running and play his system rather than have to go into the market and sign 7, 8, 9 players under every new manager. So I do not think that every signing coming in this store is Ange Postecoglou's. And I know some fans will say, well, then he needs to stand up and he needs to say it. Well, when Conte did, the fans wanted him gone. And lastly, Conte was in a position where he could because he knew he'd walk out of Tottenham and go and get another top job. This is Ange Postecoglou's first crack at the Premier League. So he's never going to stand up in that manner. He is just going to work with what the club provide him. However, I would be very surprised if this is one that Ange Postecoglou has said, this is who I want to solve my right wing issue. And lastly, I know the fan base, again, will be very split on this signing. I've seen it all over socials already. However, again, like I said under Dominic Solanke, I urge absolutely every fan to get behind this young kid and give him every opportunity to succeed at Tottenham. It's not his fault that the club maybe haven't, in my case especially, that the club haven't made a signing that maybe I think is required to suit the ambition that I have for Tottenham Hotspur this season. That's not his fault. So I'm going to give him every opportunity to succeed. But if you do have frustrations that they're not meeting the ambition of the manager, they should be put towards the board and not on this young kid. But I am going to leave you the words with Vincent Kompany, who is now the Bayern Munich manager. He said last season, I will almost refrain from what I really think about him because at this moment in time, I don't think people realize how good he is. Absolutely brilliant words there from Vincent Kompany, and hopefully he's absolutely spot on and this kid goes on to become a sensation. He did come through the PSG ranks. He has all the attributes, going forward, but is he going to be able to make an instant impact and be able to help us improve from 5th into a title challenge? Again, that's where I think I have my doubts. In the long run, I think this kid could go on to be a superb winger for Tottenham Hotspur. But with the fans' patience and wait for trophies dwindling by the day, fans will not afford Postecoglou that time for all these guys to be able to develop to come good in 2 to 3 years' time. But guys, that's just my thoughts. Let me reiterate, I have no problem with Odobert. I think, there is a real player in there in years to come. I just worry that it doesn't match the ambition of what Postecoglou really wants, which is a player to come in here and help us go for a title challenge. But guys, I am open-minded. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on the signing, and does it match Ange Postecoglou's ambition? If you disagree with me, let me know what I'm failing to see or what I am missing. I am open to correction and stuff like that. So guys, have a great day. Please smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, come on, you Spurs. In the mighty Ange we trust. We never stop.